That last video about Ralph playing WoW with me was not actually a joke at all. Anytime I sit at my computer now, he thinks it's time to play, and he does this. So, this is supposed to be a video about pigs, but might end up being a video about Ralph. Again, I'm gonna give him a Kleenex. Give him a Kleenex. Sometimes that quiets him down. Okay, so one of the questions that I am getting a lot is where to find actual mini pigs, or if I have any breeders that I recommend for mini pigs. The short answer is no, I don't have any specific breeders to recommend. I actually raise a couple of litters a year myself, but I don't want to make this channel about that at all. Truthfully, I'm trying to transition more to focus on my rescue pigs and educating people about pigs. And Ralph wins. Are you proud? Yeah? Okay, but you have to be quiet now. Over the course of rescuing pigs the last 8-ish years, I have driven all over the country and seen all kinds of breeders. So, while I can't recommend any specific ones, I can offer some insight to help you select a breeder. If you want to debate whether or not mini pigs are real, I have some other videos. One introducing you to all of my pigs where you can see how big they are, and one addressing the size specifically. So feel free to go over there and we can have that discussion. This video is to help people that are looking for pigs that are of a manageable size. Not a size that's gonna fit in your purse forever, not a teacup size, but a manageable, legitimate mini or small pig, which in my mind realistically is anything under 100 pounds, potentially something between 20 and 30 pounds. The bird just pooped on me. Joys of bird ownership. With that being said, here is some of the best information I can offer when you are trying to select your mini pig breeder. It's important to know that mini pigs are able to breed as young as 3 months old for the males, and females can breed as young as 6 months old. So that makes it easy for a lot of mini pig breeders to present you with very small pig parents that are only 10 pounds, and not tell you that it's because they're actually babies themselves. Pigs grow until they're 5 years old. The majority of their growth is finished about 3 years, but they'll still gain some size between 3 and 5. So the first thing you want to make sure of is that the parents of your pig are a minimum of 3 years old, ideally older than that. And dishonest breeders will lie about their age. So one good way to tell, and kind of the only way to tell without being able to actually examine them, when you're eyeballing the parents of your pig, look at the length of the hair on the end of their tail. That grows very slowly, but eventually when they are adults, can drag on the ground or kind of curl up. Not all of my pigs have hair that long, but they definitely have hair that's at least a couple inches when they're adults. So if their tails are short, stubby, they don't have long hair, that's probably not an adult pig. You want your breeder to have been breeding pigs for at least a few generations, because it can take a few generations to really get the ideal pig. So they should have not only the parents of your piglet, but the grandparents of your piglet. So you can get a really accurate gauge for how big they are. They'll even have siblings to your piglet, you know, pigs that were born previous years to the exact same parents, so you can see how big they are. They should never ever decline to let you see the parents in person. Pictures will not do it. If you absolutely need a pig that's small enough to live in your house comfortably, you want to make sure you're seeing the parents. Go there and look at them. A good breeder will also have references, satisfied pig parents that are willing to vouch for the breeder and the pig they received from them, that may even be able to share pictures of their piglet as an adult to let you know how it looks, how much it weighs. Of course, then there's the flat out deceitful lying breeders that are capitalizing on the fact that mini pigs are in some cases selling for a lot more than farm pigs. They've recognized that the mini pig market is potentially more lucrative than their farm meat pig market at this point, and so they'll sell full-size pigs as mini pigs just to make a sale and to make more money. Obviously, if you go through the checklist, talk with them at length, go see the parent pigs, make sure that they have several generations of pigs, make sure the pigs are adults and all of that, the chances that you're going to be flat out lied to are slim to none. However, to save yourself some of that headache, some things you can kind of look for. Potbelly pigs, while they're fantastic pets, will average closer to 200 pounds or so. So that's obviously not a mini pig, that's a potbelly pig. A good way to tell, potbelly pigs generally have the much squishier noses, rounder and almost flat, which people love. It's adorable as babies. Just be forewarned, that's usually a potbelly characteristic. If they have an extremely long snout and really large ears, this is usually your pink pigs. That's a really good indication that they're actually a farm hog and will not be anywhere close to 100 or 200 pounds as adults. My piglets, when they reach 8 weeks old, when they have been with mom, getting all of mom's milk, I absolutely never pull them from mom early. Any breeder who is willing to sell a pig before 6 weeks old should be avoided at all costs. And they'll give you all kinds of excuses. The mom rejected them. If it happened, that should be the breeder's responsibility to see them through to 8-week-old mark. Because pigs do not do well on any other forms of milk. Their chances of survival are slim, and the chances that if they survive, they'll remain healthy throughout their life are even slimmer. So you should really avoid that at all costs. My piglets, generally at the 8-week mark, are still under 5 pounds. I would put them at potentially as small as 2 pounds, occasionally as big as 7 pounds. And these are not pigs that have ever been denied a meal. If your piglet at 8 weeks old is 10 pounds or more, you're going to be looking at the higher end of the mini pig scale, to say the least, potentially even more than that. I always think it's weird when pig breeders who are advertising their pigs as great pets don't have any themselves as pets. And I see this all the time. If you are so confident in the piglets you're raising, you are marketing them to other people, potentially people who have no pig experience, and you are telling them that they're easy to housebreak, they're friendly, they're small, but you're not actually interested in even having one as a pet for yourself living in your house. That raises some questions. If they really love their pigs and think that they're worth hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars, they should have a few living in their own house. As an example, ideally they've socialized them enough that it's no problem for you to go there and hold a pig. That tells you that they are actually knowledgeable and they have been putting the time into these pigs to socialize them. Outside of size, it is very important to find a breeder that socializes their piglets. Most of the breeders I see raise their pigs outside on a farm setting. The pigs are very happy. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as they're provided, the appropriate shelter and care and all of that, they can do just fine as outdoor pets. However, if they're selling them to you as a family pet, a friendly pet, a pet that's going to live inside, make sure that's how it's been raised. You will likely feel extremely discouraged, intimidated, and potentially even considering rehoming your piglet if you get one that hasn't been handled for your very first pig. If you get a piglet that isn't friendly, hasn't been socialized, is scared of people, it is still possible to make a very friendly, wonderful pet out of them. It's just going to take a lot more work than if that process has already been started for you. And of course, the same goes with housebreaking. A good breeder will have at least started that process. With my personal pigs, I like to do it from day one, but they're raised inside from day one. It just makes it much easier for the new pig owner. Just avoid any breeder that gives you the impression that they are in this for the money. That should be said, with any animal. I avoid breeders in almost every situation. Looking around this room right now, the Leachianus geckos are the only thing that comes to mind as an animal that I sought out from a breeder. I'm very passionate about rescue. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know this. Pigs have kind of been the exception because I've taken in so many rescues, and very, very rarely do I feel that the pigs I've rescued would be suitable for an inexperienced pig owner, especially if it's a family situation with kids, potentially other pets, things like that. The rescue pigs I take in, they're so smart and they have such fantastic memories that their personalities are pretty set in stone. And generally it means they've not received the proper socialization or training. And it's very hard to break these things. There is the rare case where I will take in a pig that is from a family environment, and while they're friendly, they still wouldn't be an ideal pet for someone who doesn't know pigs, because they get so attached to their owners and so familiar with their routines and their home that when they're taken away like that, it's hard for them to recover from it. It's hard for them to bond or trust humans from that point. I mean, for the rest of their lives. That's the tragic thing about them being so smart. So again, if you have experience with pigs, if you feel your home would accommodate a pig like that, if you are patient enough, rescuing pigs is wonderful. It gives my life purpose. I encourage you to do it. If you've not had one before, if you have small children, your best bet is really to go with a breeder. If you have any questions, I've been trying really hard to get to all of them in the comments, so feel free to leave it below and I will get to it eventually. Just be kind of patient with me.